Hello friends, welcome to my home. Today we're gonna make some homemade hamburgers. Now, I love to have some homemade hamburgers even though I could eat out, but today we're gonna have some good cuisine. I like to take some ground chuck with a little bit of fat and mix it with a little bit of ground pork with a little bit of fat. Okay, I'm gonna make some patties, a couple for today and a couple for a couple days later. So I'm not going to use the whole amount of the pork. I usually use about half. Sometimes I'll take some sweet Italian sausage and use that instead. But I like to put it in there all together. And then over here, I like to use some Spanish onion or Vidalia onions. You can use any kind of onions, but these, for me, they taste the best in the burgers. And we're just going to cut them all like that. Now, I've been cooking for about 26 years. Since I was 10 years old, I started making hot dogs. And then from there it was eggs and everything. But you'll see. I'm going to post a lot of videos about all this stuff that I'm making here. And the best part about what I like to do is presentation. And you know, it doesn't have to be fancy or expensive. You can get some good ingredients on a budget. Come on, take a look at me cutting onions. I don't know if you know how to cut onions, but this is how I cut onions. I like to slice them all the way down and try to get it all in there. And then build it all back together. And then go one way. And then go the other. Now, I get, you know, depending on how you're making your burgers, you could dice them as fine or as small or as big as you like. I like them just in the middle. Get that flavor in there. Got some good flavor from the onions. For me, anytime you're making some kind of beef, you gotta put some onions in it. Look at that. We got all that in there. My eyes are starting to feel like they want to cry, but we don't got time for that. Let me rinse this off real quick. I'm just trying to make this as quick as possible before everybody gets hangry. And some people are picky with peppers. They like to take out all this seeds and the pulp and all that. Just throw it all in there. It's all going to the same place. It's all good for you. I already took out some of these seeds and planted them. So we're going to have some green peppers. Hopefully before the fall comes in. And I'll do it the same way I do the onions. You could add garlic, you could add cilantro, you could add green onions. Right now I'm just trying to do the basics in here. Dice that up a little bit. Make them about the same size. This is a good burger on the budget. And now that we got that all together, we're going to take some of these onions. We're going to just throw them in there like that. We're going to throw all these peppers in there like that. Sometimes I like to put jalapenos, but I'm the only one here who likes spice in my stuff. And over here, when you're making anything with beef or any kind of meat, it's always good to put some apple cider vinegar in it. It brings the flavor out. I usually put 2 or 3 caps of this in here. I'm not a by the measurement kind of guy. I just measure it by eye. That's some Worcestershire sauce. This thing you could put on almost anything. Right, now I know we got onions in there, but I like to put some black pepper. Anytime you're making some kind of meat, beef, you put some black pepper in it. You got some fine black pepper. Also, you gotta put a pinch of salt. Some salt in there. Put some garlic powder.
Okay.
When you put garlic powder, you don't have to be too shy. And then you could add stuff like Mrs. Dash and all that other stuff, but we're gonna keep it simple today. And then we're gonna use a little bit of butter. I like organic butter or vegan butter, something that's not too fatty. You're not gonna put so much in there, but you slice it up. I know it's like, why are you putting butter in the hamburger? Well, it's a trick that I learned. One day I was eating steak at a restaurant. A good friend of mine said, oh, take the butter from the bread and put it on your steak. See how you like it. So I went ahead and tried it. And oh my gosh, it tastes so good. It bring the flavor out. But don't worry, when you cook the burger, it's gonna melt. And it's not gonna be in your sandwich too much. It's just for the flavor. And then when you got it like that, simple. Come over here. You come over here. Got a regular nice sized pan. This is a special find I got. I like to use avocado oil. This one has some infused with garlic. I know when you're making any kind of burger, you don't need any oil because it has its own fat, but I put a little touch in there. See, take a look at that. I just put a touch in there just to give it some extra flavor. And then let that heat up a bit. And we come back over here and we're just gonna have fun with it. We're gonna get dirty. You're gonna just get your hands in there and we're gonna massage all these flavors in there, and we're gonna go round and around, and we want to make sure that we mix it enough that it's even. You want it nice and even with the pork in there, with the onions, the green pepper, all the sauces, the vinegar, the salt, the pepper, the garlic powder. Just massage it in there. Don't be afraid. Sometimes if it just came out the fridge like it just did, your hands will get cold. But that's all right. That's all right. Now we keep going. You know, like I said, you know, another thing I like to add sometimes I don't have right now is mushrooms. But usually I'll do like a stir fry with the onions and just drizzle it over the top. But like I said, today we're just keeping it simple. That's why I put the pan to heat up, because I know I got a lot of mixing to do here. Got a lot of tips for you to save some money here. You see these trays? I'm going to reuse them. I'm going to rinse them off. And the leftover patties I got, I'm going to put them on there and save them in the Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer. So next time we want some burgers, what we got to do is turn on the fryer or the pan and just put them on Cook for a few minutes and they'll be done. Sometimes you got cube cheese. You can also put the cube cheese inside the burger patty before it cooks. I'm sure you've seen that somewhere else, but we'll just go ahead, and we're about there now. You can see this looks all about even. Like I said before, I do everything by eye. You know, you could, if you live alone, or maybe you wanted to make a lot of patties, you could take out the scale and size them to portion, depending on if you're on a strict diet or something. But I like to make them about the size of the palm of my hand, and then make them round. And then we got patty like this. Now remember, when you're making any kind of burgers, they're going to shrink a little bit. So you can make them as wide as you want. I try to make them as wide as the burger bun, I mean. So this way, when they're done, they fit the burger. They're not too small, they're not too big. Even though sometimes you can make them bigger than the burger bun, depending on your taste and what you like. So I think this size is good because I know it's going to shrink a little bit. So we're going to just do it like that. And you know, if you got any kind of like hamburger press or anything, you can use those stuff too. But like I said, we're on the budget and we're trying to do this as fast as possible. So there you go, is our first patty. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh yeah, you can hear it sizzling. That's our first patty there. And trying to make sure that it's nice and even. Like I said, I'm a presentation guy. Alright. And you see, look, I take the same patty and I just push all that nice avocado oil around there. I might have put too much oil on this one, but like I said, I'm just trying to be quick. I'm gonna come back here. I'll make another patty. I'm gonna make 3 patties because in my house, only 3 of us out of 6 eat patties. And 1 patty we could probably split it. You want to ball it up nice, just to make sure you don't have any breaks in it. And then we do that like this. Sometimes the onions and the peppers, they're too clumped into a place in the patty, it'll fall apart. But in that case, you use the cheese. The cheese on top will hold it together. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now, I'm going to make one smaller one. Like I said, we got children in the house that like to eat some of these burgers too. And they don't eat the big patties. So we'll make a smaller one. Like I said, you just use your judgment, you know? Make it the size of your palm. That should be good enough. Now we're gonna see, that's the time right there. We're gonna see how long it's gonna take. I think it's gonna be about a good 10-12 minutes. You know, depending on how you like it. Some people like it medium rare. I like mine well done. So yeah, like I said, whatever suits your taste. And we'll be back. Alright, we're back about 5 minutes later. And I like to just flip them. See where we're at here. I got the fire on a little high, but like I said, we're in a rush. And we're trying not to be hangry. Now I don't flinch with this grease. This is just the hamburger love. Wants to reach out and touch me, so I let it touch me. But I know some people get hurt, they get pop in their eye and they're scared with it. Then you just use lower fire. Okay? See, look, we got more grease than before because remember I told you that hamburger got its own grease, and we also put some butter in there. So that's why it's simmering in that. You want to flatten it. Come back and flatten it. And then you come back over here. You see I made some patties for next time. And we're just going to put that in the Ziploc bag. And save it for later. Make sure you rinse off the tray. You can throw out this plastic. And then put it on here. Some of you got some Ziploc savers where you take the air out of the bag. But if you don't, you can just put it like this. Make sure you leave a corner open. Push it down. And then I like to date it. Today's the 1st of September, 2022, and put burger. And then while that's cooking, we'll go ahead and put this away. And we're going to come back in a few minutes. I got some sweet potato fries. We don't have any regular fries. And I'm not trying to cut peeled potatoes right now. Like I said, we're trying to do this quickly. Usually I would put this first. I lost you there for a second, guys. Everything good? We're going to have to put this in here. If you have an air fryer, you know how great it is. Put that together there. Like I said, I'm a presentation guy. So we're going to come over here while that's cooking over there. We're going to put our buns to toast. I like toasted buns. Some people don't. I like to put it on bagel muffin so it doesn't burn. Now, we're limited today. We don't have any mayo, but we got some honey mustard. We got some ketchup. We got some spinach. We don't have any tomatoes or lettuce, but we do have some dill pickles we're gonna have. And we're gonna use this sharp cheddar cheese there. We'll come back over here. Push it down. Flip them again. You really don't need to flip them more than twice. Some people flip them 100 times. It all depends. You know, like if you're gonna make a nice, perfect presentation with perfect cooking, then you can flip it 100 times, however you like, just to make sure you get the right crisp, the right temperature in between. But honestly, you don't need to flip it more than twice. You cook it on one side, done, flip it over, cook it on the other, and finish. But if you're still new to cooking, you come back and you flip a couple times, and you take it from there. So now we got. Oh, we'll come back to this. See you in a second, friends. Now there's another trick I do, friends. I get the cheese over here, and you can put whatever kind of cheese you like. I like all cheeses, but today we just got sharp cheddar and sharp cheddar cheese. So if you put it there, you're gonna lose cheese because the square cheese is a round burger. So my trick is to fold the corners in. You're gonna make like a diamond shape. You're gonna make sure that the folded edges go inside on the bottom. So this way, you don't lose any cheese on the pan, and it stays on the burger. And then you gotta fold it to the size of the burger. Remember I told you we got 2 regular burgers and 1 small one. So that's a smaller square for the smaller burger there. And then we got a bigger square here for the bigger burger. Now I'm very risky when it comes to cooking. I put my hand in there when it's cooking, all kinds of stuff. You don't have to be like me. You take your time, don't get burned. I use the lid so cheese will melt. And while that's cooking there, we'll get everything else prepared. So I'll see you in a second, friends. Another thing I like to do, I like to kind of take out the grease a little bit. Just gonna take a look here. See, I turned it off, and I let it just melt. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that beauty there. Now we got all the cheese. See, there's no cheese in the pan. I like to put it on the napkin. This way the napkin soaks up some of that grease and oil. We don't need to have all that fat in our diet. We lost some cheese there, but it's not that much, see? That nice gooiness there. Nice and gooey. I'm gonna take that off of there. Look at that, huh? Now we're gonna get ready to dress it up. See you in a second, friends. Hello, friends. So we're almost putting this together. And we need to open this up. I like to have a good pickle on my burger. If you don't like pickles, you can skip this step. But pickles are good for you. Multitasking over here. Alright. See that? Nice and done there. Alright, friends, we're almost there. Just a moment more. And now we're going to put the kids one together. We're going to just put some ketchup. I like to put my condiments first. And then we take the patty. Cheesy that's oozing. And we'll just set it right there in the middle. See? It's a little bit smaller than the bread, but that's okay. And like I said, we don't have any other condiments and stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some pickles. And we're just going to set them all around there. Like that. A couple of leaves of spinach. I love spinach. And if you like, you can add a little bit more ketchup. Or you put some regular raw onions. However, but this is cooking right away. There you go. There's your burger. Another minute. So this is where you put your mayo, your honey mustard, this honey mustard doesn't want to cooperate today. Put a dab in the middle, just like that. Put some ketchup, just like that. There's the burger off of the. Look at that. You see? Look at the symmetry. The burger's the same size of the bread. See that? Same size of the bread. That's a good thing. And here we go. We're gonna put these pickles on there. Use whatever pickles you got. I myself, like I said before, I like spicy stuff, so I'll use the spicy pickles. Those are so delicious. Some of them they're called wicked pickles. This salad, this spinach is a little wilted, but it's still good. Oh,
This way.
we have the side. Side's ready. Look at that. Like to add another pickle on the side. Got some coleslaw from the other day. Put that on there like that. And there you go. Voila. We got dinner in about 30 minutes. Next time, friends, I don't know what we're making, but I'll make sure you're there. Make sure you like and subscribe.